What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Neeks Sports. This is your Arsenal versus Manchester United match preview. It's a big game. It's always a big game. In Premier League history, it's one of the greatest rivalries, one that has somewhat dwindled in the last few years as both teams struggled to really reach the heights that they did in the late 90s, early 2000s. But among fans, this is still a massive rivalry. As far as Premier League goes, it's still a massive rivalry. Both teams with different expectations at the moment so far this season, but maybe long term, they'll both be aiming for the same thing. We're going to get right into it. I'm here with the boy Ramsey. Arsenal versus Manchester United. Saturday, 5:30 kickoff. Are you ready? Are you ready for it? Or you still got a few hours? What? So just under 24 hours before the match kicks off. Are you ready now, or you still need a bit of time to kind of get into the groove for it?
I'm ready, man. It's time to go, man. Let's get this cracking, man. Let's get this cracking. I'm ready, yo. I don't think we could have ever been more ready for this game, to be fair, coming into it. So I'm ready.
I had that. You lot on what in the last, is it 5 wins within your last 6 games?
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
the
Five
only,
wins
the,
in
the
five
only
in last
draw
six.
was out. Only draw was at home to Crystal Palace. I mean, I did see some of the fixtures that you had over the last 6 games, and I'm like, oh, okay, you won them. But the games that you're supposed to win, I don't think there was any game there that I would say was a shock that you won, other than obviously, like the one that sparked it was the Chelsea game,
Mm.
where you won 3-1. Coming into this game, I mean, I know you were on the terrace briefly in their Arsenal versus Man United match preview as well. Coming into this game, is this the perfect time for Arsenal to play Man United in terms of the whole season, how you've performed? Is this the perfect time, or would you just thought, if we had played them at this point or that point, it might have been better? Or is this the best time to get Man United?
Um. Yeah, I guess over the course of the season, bear in mind we've already played each other as well. For us, it's definitely the best time because, as you said, coming off the back of 5 wins in 6 games, even though the games we're supposed to win, if you look at the six before that, the likes of Burnley at home, Aston Villa and Leicester, Wolves, like losing all those games, the games where you probably shouldn't have lost them really on paper. So the ones on paper we weren't winning before. Now we're winning the games on paper, and then we go back into another game against Man United. Obviously coming off the back of a win the last time we played each other as well. So
Mm.
yeah, man. In fact, back to back wins. The last I think we beat you the last, yeah, two
Yeah,
leagues in a
you
row.
beat us January 2020.
We've,
One of
we've
our
never won three. We've never won three in a row in the league against Man United.
No, never.
In the Premier League, in the Premier League era, yeah, never.
Yeah. I mean, fair enough, to be fair. I mean, obviously, Man United had been dominant generally during the Premier League era. Even though Arsenal had great teams, 98, 2002, 2004, and it's been tight
Mm,
generally between the two sides. Home advantage usually counts a lot in these games. You lot won at Old Trafford for the first time since 2006 in the Premier League,
mm,
when Aubameyang scored in November. So it kind of shows the home advantage, and we haven't beaten you at the Emirates since David De Gea in the league, that is, since David De Gea pulled off that masterclass in goal, if I'm
mm,
correct, where you just had the shots were raining in, but it was like thou shalt not pass in it,
mm.
and we got away with that one. That was under LVG, I believe. I believe it was. I could be wrong actually. Might have been Mourinho, but yeah, they said home advantage does count for a lot. I remember we played you not last season, but the season before, and we were on good run of form. This one, Solskjaer just came in and everyone was flying, and I was like, "We're gonna blow up." Because we beat you in the FA Cup. I was like, "Yeah, we're gonna beat them again." And Xhaka did a mad thing with the wind, and
Mm.
it went all tits up for us in it. So I I was already wary. Like the Old Trafford game, I thought we're not going to lose that because we don't lose to Arsenal Old Trafford, and we lost that with a penalty. I was always wary about this game, always. Like coming into it, regardless of our form, I expected to beat Sheffield United, so I wasn't even like, if we lose, then we're gonna be down for the Arsenal game, or if we win, we're gonna bet Arsenal. Whatever the result, I expected to win. I felt this game was always going to be tough. Now Is it a tougher game? I don't know. Is it a bigger game? Yes. But for us, because we lost that game to Sheffield United, I think this is even a bigger game. If we're beating Sheffield like we expected to, I would have said, take a draw. Yeah, Man City is going to pull away, but you can't control everyone else. You can only do what's in front of you. And we obviously want to beat Arsenal, but in the grand scheme of things, you take a draw. Now, after losing to Sheffield, I'm like, I need a win. I need a win at the Emirates. And going to the Emirates needing a win is not a position you want to be in. It's not a pretty. I mean, Chelsea were flying, talking about title challenge, went to the Emirates, and their whole season collapsed. Lampard's job was pretty much the Arsenal game was the beginning of the end for Frank Lampard. I don't want it to be the beginning of the end for Solskjaer. I don't think it needs to be. I think for me, I can see Solskjaer looking at that Sheffield United game and thinking, yeah, we did a lot of things wrong there, and trying to bring back a bit of, I don't know, pride or a bit of, I think pride and fight back into the team for this game. So I think maybe that Sheffield United loss, one might say, is the best thing that could happen to us at this point, to realize, yeah, guys, I know we're flying, but we're not there yet. From an Arsenal perspective, does a Sheffield United loss, and I've heard 2 points of this, is it a good thing for Arsenal in the sense, all right, Man United are wounded, we can take advantage now, or is it like, damn, you're a wounded animal, so they're going to strike back? How as an Arsenal fan, how do you see that?
Yeah, I think, you know what? I think it makes it tougher, I actually think it makes it tougher because like if you drop that performance on Saturday, that's what I want. I wanted you to come into that same mindset that you had against Sheffield. Obviously, it would never be the same mindset because it's a different game. But in terms of level of performance, if you drop that level of performance on Saturday, I think we beat you. I think because I don't think you were good defensively or going forward. I know the team. Obviously, I know it wasn't the first team. Lots of change. Well, the majority of the first team, but lots of changes were in there. So I wouldn't have expected that. But now you've lost the game. You need a reaction. You need a reaction from the players now. So the players have to now, like, I saw a stat the other day that said Man United haven't lost back to back in the league for over a year now.
Yeah, so it's basically since Bruno. So we lost to Liverpool and Burnley back to back. That's when like the Ollie out was at its height, and then Bruno came in and I guess steadied the ship, you might say. And we haven't lost back to back.
Yeah, but there's obviously it's obviously a mentality thing. It's not just luck. You don't just go for a whole year not losing back to back just out of pure luck. There's probably a mentality shift to say, whether it's with Ollie or in the coaches, to say, listen, we lost the last game. We don't want to lose the next game. So at least whatever, obviously all different types of circumstances. Might be a small game next, might be a big game next, but at least you don't it's obviously the mentality is to not lose the next game. You come up with a draw, cool. But I think you're coming again with the mentality of, right, we lost to Sheffield United. We cannot lose ground now in the title race, in the top 4 race. We have to get back to winning ways straight away.
Yeah, listen, I've always said in it, like, obviously, top of the league, in the title race, blah, blah, blah. Top 4 is still the priority. And when I said it, people are like, you're just trying to downplay it. You're trying to say this, And some of it is a case of them downplaying it, but taking the pressure off, because because of how good we've done unexpectedly, the expectations rose. And I'm just like, no. Keep the expectations exactly where they were and be happy that we're outperforming. Don't then raise the expectations to where you are, and then you're going to be disappointed or furious when we drop below the new expectation. I'm like, no. If top 4 was a target, we still judge how well we've done based on where all our targets were at the start of the season. So for me, I think he might look at it a case of, listen, we need to win for the title race, but you look at Spurs losing against Liverpool, you look at Leicester and Everton drawing against each other. We need to make sure that we don't lose and get dragged into a fight for top 4 when we put ourselves in a position where we've created a gap between us and a lot of the chasing pack, you might say. Going through some of the comments, Shane says, I'm sick of getting bullied by Arsenal. It's not fun. I can't have any of this. Take your time with it. I mean, yeah, the thing with this game, regardless of where you finish in the season, obviously where you finish is the most important thing. Those things just live in the memory. Like Man United finished fourth, Arsenal finished eighth last year. Man United are second, Arsenal are ninth. Yet Arsenal fans will still get at Man United fans for beating them in at Old Trafford, winning the cup. Obviously, we didn't play us, but you won the cup. Beat us in Arteta's first game. As a fan, as a rival, you want to get those wins regardless, and then you settle everything else at the end of the season in terms of league position when those things come out. Erhan, who's a Spurs fan, says some Arsenal fans need a massive humbling. Are Arsenal fans getting a bit ahead of themselves, Ramsey? Are they like, we're back? I mean, I think Arsenal are back. I think you are back 100%. 5 wins out of 6. I mean, what more can you ask for? Back in the race for top 4.
There's nothing to get ahead of ourselves. We literally was in the relegation battle last month. So, I mean, we're back when we're lifting league titles, innit? That's when we have. When I was growing up, that's what we were doing, innit? So, and I mean, when I'm listening to titles again, I'm not gonna go OTT and winning Champions League. So that ain't happened yet. But we're back challenging for titles in top 4. Like we're way off right now. So, but slowly improving from where we were. All you got to do is improve from where you were. And even like last year we finished 8th in the league. At the moment, we're 9th. Could say joint 8th, same points as Chelsea in 8th. So we're weirdly, because of the weird season, we're kind of like evening ourselves out after the bad start and the decent sort of carry on.
So you're back. Back. That's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that you're back.
If last season was a horrible season, so we're back to a horrible place where we are. So, like, I mean, yeah, that's the situation that we're in now. I mean, I don't think Arsenal fans are gassed because I don't think we don't even know what the expectation is. Like how obviously you lot were talking about you're in a potential title race, but you're also going for top 4. We're just trying to take one game at a time and hopefully end up in a decent place in the league. Because I don't even know, like, I can't really say to them, man, right, you have to guarantee getting the top 4 because you're so far off. Guarantee getting to Europa League because you don't know what's going to happen. You just have to, I think, honestly, it's a game by game basis.
Yeah.
It has to be now because the league is so weird. You don't know if West Ham are still going to be up there by the end. Like, Everton, Spurs, Chelsea.
You mean West Ham best team in London?
West Ham best team in London right now. Let them chill there. Whilst they're there, the pressure's on, isn't it? Let them chill there. Let them hold all the pressure as the best team in London. That's cool, man. We'll just slowly work our way up because whilst we were sitting in 15th, people were looking at us saying, Arsenal, you can beat them. And now all of a sudden we're 9th. And we're just slowly climbing.
So as it stands, you're 7 points, off 4th, which isn't massive, but 4th place is Liverpool. That's the problem. And we know that Liverpool, like Man City, can go on a run. Whether they do or not is another matter, but we know they've got that in them. Whereas every other team, you think, we might win 2 or 3 in a row, but our loss is just around the corner. Not that we're playing bad, but it's just what we do. We haven't proved that we can go on those runs. I mean, maybe it's a bit unfair. Man United just won 10 out of the last 10, drew 3 in the last 13 games before the Sheffield United game. Now the question is, how do we react to this loss? They said we haven't lost back to back, which is a good sign. But can we go on another run like we did? I mean, if we lost to Sheffield, cool, and we even lose to Arsenal like we did in November, and go on another 13-game unbeaten run, I'll take it because that means you're there or thereabouts in a title race. Obviously, you hope Man City might drop a point here, drop a game there, but you're there and thereabouts. But if we lose to Arsenal, that's back to back. Pressure's going to be on. Teams are closing in. We don't know how they're going to deal with it, which is a problem. There was a comment from Shane. Yeah, he says we haven't lost away from home. So Man United lost away from home for over a year, and Arsenal's home record isn't great. If Pogba turns up, we have a great chance. Are you concerned with Arsenal's home record this season? As a Man United fan, I'm concerned with our home record as well. But of course, this game is away from home.
Yeah, I mean, you have to be. You got to put into some sort of context because I don't think anyone's having a great game at home. Due to the fact that there's no fans, there's no sort of the advantage even is slightly evens itself out. You're seeing so much last week. In the last game week just gone, only one team won at home, which was Man City.
Wow.
Everyone else lost. Oh no, Man City were away.
What, to
Who was
West
it?
Brom?
Yeah, there was only
Yeah,
one team anyway. The last game week that won at home, Burnley. Burnley were the only team to win at home the whole
wow.
week. So it's like I think it's for some reason it's difficult for everyone. Everyone's struggling at home. I don't know if it's the pressure of like being at home, but there's no fans, and then there's no fear anymore, isn't it? Teams are coming not fearing the fact that there are fans there. There's an argument to say, someone had an argument to say, the reason why West Ham are so high is because their fans are always on their back. And now there's no fans, they're free. They're free. They're picking up wins here, there, and everywhere because there's no fans on their back. They can just go. But as soon as the fans come back in and it starts to get tetchy again, that's when performances will start to drop.
Yeah.
So I think that's part of it. But yeah, the reality is we got to improve it. Our last obviously big game was Chelsea at home, and we turned up very well then. So it's possible to do, but yeah, it's not been great.
Do you think it's anything to do with just in terms of also player ability, player performance, in the sense that, or manager tactics? Obviously, your strength has been your defense. Since Arteta's come in, you've got the best defense in the league, second best defense in the league this season. Again, how much does that say about Arsenal? Is it other teams? I don't know, but it is what it is, second best defense. Man United are famed for a counter-attack under Ole. When you're at home, when you have to take the initiative now, so you can't sit back and defend, you have to go on the front foot. Does that have an impact on Arsenal's form in terms of just not having the players to take the game to the opposition and keep it tight at the back at the same time?
Yeah, partly. And you mentioned the formation. Obviously, since we've basically gone on this run, we've gone from started off as a 3-4-3, then went into a 4-3-3, and is now a 4-2-3-1. And a 4-2-3-1 with a number 10 gives us another attacker, gives us another creator in the middle. And all of a sudden, you've seen an improvement in results, home and away. So obviously, like there's a sense where we'll probably trying to be too defensive at home and away, to be fair. But we're trying to play the low block. Like reality is we're not a low block team. So you might be able to get away with it here and there, but if it's not the way the players that we have naturally play, it's never going to succeed over the course of a season. Do you know what I mean? But so I feel like we tried to defend too much, and it stifled our attack. It meant that when we played Leicester, we were just trash. We were just waiting for them to score because we couldn't really attack because we were so scared about losing the game, and then you end up losing the game anyway. So I think the mentality just gone to, you know what? Let's go back to what we used to do: 4-2-3-1 and attack, and then try and keep it solid. And it kind of worked because we've been good at the back as well.
I think for us, our home form, I think it does play a lot into the fact that we do struggle to break down low block teams, very low block teams. And Sheffield United just had like 10 man, 11 man behind the ball. And I wouldn't even say they were hitting us on the counter. That's the maddest thing. But we just struggle to break them down and get the goal, which means that there's always an option that if they go up the other end, they can get a goal. And I mean, the second goal we gifted to them. First goal was a foul, but it is what it is. Second goal, terrible defending and cost us. And then we just struggle going forward to actually create proper chances. Jadon Sancho in the comments, relax.
Jadon Sancho, you better be on a flight.
You're gonna get blocked in a second for that spamming. But yeah, I think the team that we played against Sheffield, for me, the team is good enough. You can't tell me you got Telles, Pogba, Bruno, Rashford, Martial, etc. On paper, that team should beat Sheffield United. But there's a question that when you make 5 changes, do you give a subconscious, belief in the players' heads that you're taking it lightly, you're thinking ahead, you're thinking about the Arsenal game? But then it's like, what do you do? Because you can't play, especially in this season, you can't just play your best team game after game after game after game because you're playing 2-3 times a week. We just played Liverpool on Sunday. We got Sheffield on the Wednesday and then Arsenal on Saturday. So can you play the same team over and over again? I don't think so, but I do feel there was a level of complacency.
But obviously the initiative, the mindset was that the Liverpool game was a big game. Yeah. So like it's a cup game. Majority of the cup games you get an opportunity to play your second string. But because it was Liverpool in the FA Cup, maybe obviously a chance to win silverware, you decided to go for it. And like, it's what happens it's weird in the FA Cup, especially, maybe not so much the League Cup, but the FA Cup, when you get two big teams, both teams decide to go for it. At least like you might drop a keeper or whatever, but both sides are pretty much strong.
Yeah.
So kind of what you don't really want to lose the game. So that was unfortunate. Maybe if you got a Cheltenham, you would have been able to rest, and no doubt your team on Wednesday would have been full
Stronger.
strength.
Yeah. 100%. No, 100%. Comment here from Always a Red. If Oli don't win a trophy or do better than third this year, he should go, Neeks. And I'd rather get Julian Nagelsmann tactically better and will make us play better footy. All right, I've got a question for you then, Always a Red. Is winning a trophy more important than fourth? So you said win a trophy or do better than third. So if he wins a trophy, let's say he wins the FA Cup and finishes fifth, is that enough to keep him? Or if he finishes fourth alone, is that enough to keep him? Because I think, for me, and I said at the start of the season, closing the gap on Liverpool was the most important thing. Liverpool and Man City stroke. But Liverpool, because they were 33 points ahead of us. So if we finish fourth this year, I mean, from this position, it'd be very disappointing. But at the start of the season, if we finish fourth this year, but close the gap to the top, so let's say it was 10 points as opposed to 33, then for me, that's enough to get another season. Of course, finishing outside the top four for me is it's a sackable offense. Let's be honest, it's a sackable offense. He might not get the sack, but it's a sackable offense because you can't finish third and then the next year finish fifth because that's not progress. Of course, sometimes there's mitigating circumstances. The league is so much tighter. You might miss out on 1 point, but you're only 7 points off top. Like, there's a lot of things you have to take into consideration. Did we reach a final? Did we win another cup at the same time as finishing fifth? You got to take all those things into consideration. I'm not here calling. We're sitting in second. I'm not even thinking about another manager because there's no need. We're in the middle of the season, and we're in a position higher than we all expected. So why are we thinking about getting another manager? It seems like we're just not over, or a lot of people are not over. Maybe the hurt. Our expectations were so high after his first 3 months, and then it dipped so badly that a lot of people are still broken. It's like, I'm Ollie out forever. So anytime he loses, I'm still Ollie out. For me, I'm just saying, I'm judging him at the end of the season. So there's no point in me calling for his head at this stage. As I said at the start of the video, Arsenal versus Man United. Man United Arsenal has been a big fixture in Premier League history. So I want to know from you, your top three. What's your top three Man United versus Arsenal games in Premier League history?
So for me, I've got to go to winning the league at Old Trafford. Winning the league at Old Trafford, that has to be like one of the greatest moments I've seen personally, because you win the Premier League at your rival ground. Like, obviously, it's in a sense, it's kind of lucky in terms of the way it falls. Obviously, if a fixture falls that day and that's the day you win the league, obviously it's a bit of luck involved. But when the opportunity comes, to go and win it, that was a madness. Win it 1-0 at Old Trafford, and I mean, seal the title that day. So that has to be up there for me. Or I've got to go for the 0-0 at Old Trafford. Ruud van Nistelrooy penalty miss in the last minute of the game kept our unbeaten run going. That was a penalty. That penalty could have changed history. Going back in the net could literally change history. We now hold our greatest ever Premier League record. Well, still unbeaten record in Premier League, because partly due to that penalty miss through Van Nistelrooy. And it was a 0-0, but it was fierce. It was fighting all game. Did someone get sent off?
Vieira. He kicked out of Van Nistelrooy.
Vieira kicked out. Keane got involved, and that sparked the Keown to get vexed and that. So, and then the penalty at the end. So, yeah, man, that's got to be up there, man. And the last one I was struggling with, but I'd probably say the FA Cup final when we won it on penalties, because we got absolutely battered.
I don't know how you won that game.
Battered. And the funny thing is that a few years ago we played Liverpool before that, the previous final, and we battered them. We literally battered them. Michael Owen scored 2 goals in the last minute. and we couldn't understand how we didn't win that FA Cup. So it was due 4 years later for us to be in a final against Man United, get absolutely battered, and then win it on penalties right at the end, man. And obviously it's a trophy as well. You win it, you beat your rivals to a trophy, and you get battered the whole game. So yeah, I can't ask for more.
Fair enough. You know what? I'm not even going to mention the 8-2. The 8-2 for me was it's a banterous game, but it wasn't a great game. Like the first goal we scored was terrible anyway. Like it was terrible defending. Somehow Danny Welbeck got in and scored that goal. It was a missed penalty from you lot, and you still scored 2 goals. I mean, the goal that Van Persie scored, I think it was the one that made it 6-2. Horrible defending from us. Like the game was ridiculous. Yeah, Carl Jenkinson. I mean, he got sent off. It was just a riot. But that was peak Wenger out. That was peak Wenger out because if I remember rightly, you didn't make any transfers that summer or anything proper, and then you lost that game 8-2, and everyone started coming here. Per Mertesacker, Yossi Benayoun, Park Cho Young, whatever his name was.
Arteta.
Arteta came in. And Andre Santos.
Yeah.
I think it was just a madness. Like that Arsenal team was so bad. It was actually I didn't feel sorry for you. I'm not going to feel sorry for you, but it was embarrassing. For me, the games where the 2 teams were more evenly matched are the ones that really exciting for me. The 2-2 at Highbury, when Sol Campbell got sent off with a red card, the elbow on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
I was fuming with that. Absolutely fuming.
It's weird because okay, you tell me, was that a red card?
Never.
He's
just trying to
but he did elbow him.
And he didn't, man. It was just a hand. Solskjaer ran into his elbow and he dropped. He's just trying to hand him off, man. There was never an elbow. It wasn't like he went to actually.
No, he was trying to fend him off, but the elbow connected right into it. And the thing it was right in front of the linesman. And the angle where the linesman was at, all you see is the elbow in the face. Yeah. And he gave it in it. But obviously at the time it was 2-2. But the reason why
obviously I would have overturned that.
So it was a 2003 title race, and we took the lead. Van Nistelrooy in the 19th minute, I think it was, and he did a brilliant goal. I think he put it through one of the defender's legs. Might be even Sol Campbell, can't remember, from like the halfway line, ran on and then chipped over the keeper. It wasn't Lehman in goal. It might have been Stuart Taylor or one of them like that. I can't remember. And then you were 2-1 up, and then I remember the commentary. The first one, it was like title pendulum swings Man United's way, and then you got 2-1 up. I think Ashley Cole might have scored. It was like a deflected Ashley Cole Henry goal or whatever it was. But as that second goal went in to make it 2-1, it's like we went straight up the other end, and Ryan Giggs scored to make it 2-2, and the game just kind of settled, and we got the draw that we needed to go and win the league that year. That was a very good game for me. I think I'm trying to remember. Listen, well, the 99 Ryan Giggs, that has to be right up there. FA Cup semi-final, Villa Park. Who scored? We scored first. Beckham. We got a man sent off. Dennis Burke. I think Dennis Burke scored. He also missed a penalty. And Nelka had a goal disallowed for offside. If we thought that was like they've scored a winner. And then Ryan Giggs scores the sensational individual goal, which just lives long in memory. And of course, we went on and won the treble. But for me, the best one was the 4-2 at Highbury. Ronaldo got 2. I think Giggs scored 1, and then John O'Shea's chip. We were 3-2 up with down to 10 men.
Oh, in the league, yeah.
In the league, yeah. That for me was the best. Like, because that was like, I think it was, I want to say it was about 2005, 2006. So that team was just coming together. The Sahas, the Rooneys, the the Ronaldos, that young team were just coming together, and we went on that mad run after. But the football we were playing, it was so good. It was like Scholes was pinging the ball around. It was exciting, and that John O'Shea chip right at the end just tipped it off for me in it. So we've had some big games, derbies over the years, and so unfortunately we're not fighting for titles anymore. Whether together, individually, like you've had a little season where you were chasing Leicester. We were down in the doldrums. We've got a little season now. I mean, we had one, I guess, 2018, trying to chase Man City anyway. We haven't been there together in it. So hopefully, for the sake of the Premier League, we can get back to that at some point. Let me go through some of these comments. HH says the juju is gone. I actually blame HH for that Sheffield United loss. He's been cussing Man United all season. The moment he goes, they're going to win the league. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's a great manager. We go and lose to Sheffield United. So I blame HH for that. I didn't think it was real, but yeah, he done us over there. So listen, we lost to Sheffield United, so Solskjaer's crap again. He's a PE teacher, so just make sure you stick with that, and we'll be good. We'll be good. He also says, "Is the title still on? Yes or no?" I mean, we are in the title race. Man City, I predict at the beginning, we're going to win it. Right now, they are favourites. And I think they're going to win the title. But we're in the race. That's it. We're in the race. We're hoping that Man City can slip up. Nikos says, Nani goal. Yes, 3-1 at the Emirates, where Nani did a madness on the right-hand side. And then, I think he goes down to the own goal, but it's like a cross. And whoever your keeper was, Almunia, pushed it into the net. And then Rooney scored a brilliant counter-attacking goal. I think it was 100 or 150th goal. There's been some good ones. Shane says, Ramsey, what are Arsenal like in the first 30 or 20 minutes of games? Because that's when we are at our worst during matches.
It's hard to say because it depends on the game. Southampton started great, should have scored in the first minute, and then we conceded, and then we came back into it in the first half. And I'd probably say the majority of our games we probably start slow, but then again against Chelsea, I think we started quite well in that game as well. So it's hard to just call it from as to say we're always like this or always like that. I would probably say if anything, we're more likely to be a bit more cagey because it's a big game. I don't think we're going to go because the thing with the Chelsea game is that we've been so bad that we played all the kids and we just said there's nothing to lose, just go for it. And I think we had to. Whereas this game, because we're coming the opposite way now, we're now off the back of 6 unbeaten. It's now we're going to be like we don't need to go and win. We don't need to just try and win it outright straight away. So we may be a bit more cagey to start with. So it could be quite a cagey affair to start with from both teams. You're on mute, Neeks.
From HH says to Ramsey, what is Saka's ceiling and why did he reject his homeland, Nigeria?
Listen, Saka's a North London boy. He's a North London boy, mate. Born and bred. No. Listen. These man, listen. I see it all the time, innit? The Jamaican man. If you're at the level where you've been brought up through the ranks, then you tend to go with England, and if you're not good enough, you tend to go with the Nigeria, which is why you lot got Alex Iwobi and not but yeah, ceiling. Man, I mean, the sky's the limit for this kid, man. I mean, really is. Like he's starting to already break records for goals scored. At this age, for Arsenal, we've had some good kids come through as well in the past. And for a guy who really came out of nowhere last year, big up Emery for giving him the faith to bring him through.
Unai.
The kid's got bags. I don't even know where. I don't even want to put a limit on him because he can just fly through, man. I mean,
are you worried that you might lose him if Arsenal don't
potentially? But that's why it was massive that he signed a deal in the summer. So at least we tied him down for a few years. And the difference between like maybe him and like a Fabregas is that Fabregas, I feel like coming from Barcelona when he was young, always had the desire to want to go back. Whereas Saka he's been an Arsenal fan as a kid and been at the academy since he was a kid as well. So I feel like there's a lot more of a love there to potentially stay. Obviously, I would actually want him to go on if we're still in the same position in 3, 4, 5 years time. I'd feel like we'd be stifling him, and I feel like he deserves to go on if he's still at that high level. But like, I mean, if you were to look at like his Wikipedia page says he's a left back / left wing. My guy's a right wing right now, so you can't even try and put him in a position because he will just go move on. I mean, he's arguably our best left wing back, best left winger, left right winger, like number 10. That the kid is just he's amazing, man.
He is
First name on the
brilliant.
team sheet right now.
No, it's facts. It's facts. I mean, I saw I think who was it? KG and Ty doing their Arsenal preview,
Mm,
Arsenal United, and I think the question was like, who would you take from the Arsenal team? And for me, it was either between Saka and Partey or Partey.
mm.
I'm like, the fact that I'm even putting it right up there, and there's Aubameyang there, there's Lacazette, there's David
Yeah.
Luiz, and we're like Saka, like the guy is doing bits. He's doing bits.
And
And he's a proper candidate for young player of the year right now. I'm trying to think
yeah,
who else might be. I know the ages are messed up. You can all be 24, 25 and get in there. So Jack Grealish
yeah,
might even have a chance, but he's right up
yeah.
there.
I mean, the thing is with him is that like he obviously came through where the team kind of was performing a bit, and then but as it dropped off, he kept his level. That's the good thing about him. Like, but it was is he kind of had a similar sort of climb to Rashford in the sense that Rashford was thrown in when you needed him, when you had no one else really, and sort of went on from his opportunity and just sort of grasped it and never looked back. In a similar sort of sense, like Saka got an opportunity last year in Europa League, progressed through, and even though Arsenal have been so bad, is now progressing to be one of our biggest assets at the moment. So yeah, mad climb.
Question from Shane says, Neeks, would you not take Gabriel? Yeah, listen, first 2 months of this season, a lot of hype around Gabriel, and I was just like, all right, cool, he's done well. He looks good, to be fair. He does look good. But just take your time and let's see. I don't know nothing about him before he came to Arsenal. He started well in the back three. I don't know exactly why he's been out. Might be some injuries and suspension. I don't know, but they still got a good defensive record without him in the team. So the setup how Arteta's done it, did that benefit the way that to enhance his strengths? He does have strengths that he could offer us, but is he better than Bailly? No. I want to fit Bailly. That's what I want. I want to fit Bailly. So do I want Gabriel? No. I want to fit Bailly or a centre back. I don't want Gabriel. And if out of all the three, to be honest, I would go probably Saka, Partey, and it's probably Gabriel. In the past, it might have been Tierney, but Luke Shaw's. Listen, I tell you, Ramsey. Luke Shaw's back. Luke Shaw is back. Luke Shaw, you wrote him off. He's back. I'm telling you. You don't want to. That's why we lost to Sheffield. That's what you lost, didn't it? When Tierney was out, that's why we lost because Tierney didn't play. So that's why we lost, didn't it? Because Bailly did. Because Shaw didn't play. Question from Have Hope says, honest assessment right now, Martial. Where has the sauce and seasoning gone? I don't know what's going on. I really don't. It's the man was our player of the year last year. 25 goals in all competitions. Our first Premier League hat-trick since Robin van Persie. I mean, like everything we needed from a number 9, he gave it to us last year. He was holding up the ball, he was linking the play, he was finishing the chances. The only thing he probably wasn't getting was headed goals, but even then he got a couple. I think he scored a big one against Chelsea, I remember off the top of my head. This season, it's been getting worse and worse. Like he started off, third game of the season, got sent off against Spurs. He had a little bit of a decent little revival in the Champions League, a few goals, a few assists. But his Premier League form has just been absolutely horrendous. It's got worse and worse and worse. His confidence is completely shot. The game against Sheffield is probably it's the worst performance I've ever seen from him for 5 years. That is the worst. And it's not even just about, he missed a bag of chances. We didn't create a bag of chances. But there was just no urgency from him all game. There was a clip that I've seen, and there's many clips, but there's a clip that I've seen where he's standing on the left-hand side of the box, and Cavani and Van der Beek are pressing on the touchline. The ball ends up going to the right-hand side of the pitch. They both run past Martial, like literally, Martial's standing, and they run past him. So he's actually in between them, and they end up in the area trying to challenge. And I think Van der Beek gets the ball and tries to cross it in for Cavani. And the whole time, Martial just standing, turning, looking. And I'm like, this is pathetic. Like the least I expect from a professional football man is to run. And he wasn't even doing that. He wants the ball to come to him. And I don't know what he's going to do with it. So right now, Listen, Martial is third choice striker for me. So that's behind Cavani and Greenwood. I'm starting Greenwood as striker before I start Martial. And he's second choice left winger. And he doesn't play on the right. That his position is bench right now. And from our top goal scorer last year, I think it's unrealistic for us to have as good a season as we did last year in terms of finishing third if we don't get someone performing at that level. Now, Rashford, he's kept up his goal and assist return in open play. He doesn't take penalties this year, so take that into account. If he's not going to step up, Martial, then we have to give Cavani the number 9 position starting, and he's going to have to come in with goals, and Greenwood's going to come in with goals. We can't carry Martial any longer. We've done it all season, and we're fortunate to be in this position with Martial and Greenwood scoring less than 5 goals between them in the league. We're fortunate to be here. So, but you can't do that for 38 games. Martial's a bench player, and he's got a long way to go to get back into this team. Long way.
Neeks, I need to done the myth. I need to done this myth already because there's been a lot of talk on Twitter. There's been a lot of talk online about Ødegaard and being a injury-prone player, right? And a lot of people saying he's a crook. And I think that there was an interview. I think there was an interview with a radio broadcaster who said, "I don't know if he supports Arsenal, just a fan." He said he's an injury-prone player. I don't know if he'll be any good for us. And staying fit. I'm gonna done this now because he's not an injury-prone player. In fact, in the last season, playing for Sociedad, 31 games, 29 starts. He was available 89% of the time due to fitness. So 11% of his playing time was due to injury. And the season before in Holland, he had a 92% availability. Only 2 players in the whole squad played more than him in Holland. So you're talking about a small limit of games. Yes, this season he's had a couple of injuries at Real Madrid, but he's been on the bench 10 times and played 5 times. So, I mean, you can't be that. I think with him, it's more of a chance of. I don't think Zidane likes him. I don't think Zidane likes Ødegaard, and I there's a part of me that has hope that if it goes well with Arsenal, we could sign him based on the fact that I don't think Zidane likes him at the level that he wants for his team. Now, does that mean he's good enough? I don't know. I don't know if he's necessarily good enough. We have to wait and see. I'm not even going to make a judgment call of whether he is. I think this is a good trial for him. Yes, I see that he had 4 different injuries, but they weren't long injuries. They were just like niggles that he was out for a week or 2 weeks. He weren't out for like 3-4 months. You know what I mean? He had 4 different injuries, from a calf injury. He had the first injury was in the summer, so it was before the season even started, because the season started late in end of September. So really, he wasn't even during the season. He had 3. So during the season, he picked up 3 injuries, but he was still available for. Still been available for the majority of the season. So I don't think he is injury prone. And even if he is, I mean, he's only here for 20 games, so 18 games if that. So like the reality is.
Are you expected to see him on Saturday?
I think he's got a chance to play. I don't think he'll start. I think he's got a chance to play. I think depending on how the game's going, obviously, like if we're winning the game, it might be a case where we don't necessarily need him to come on, because we might just want to hold out the game. So we might be playing more defensive towards the end, like we did at Old Trafford. And if we need something to create goals, then Ødegaard might be the guy to come on. But listen, yeah, for me it's a trial. For me it's a trial basis to see how good he is. I want to see it. Like, I heard all the stats, I've seen all the clips, but I want to see it firsthand and see how good this kid really is.
HH, we spoke about our top 3 Man United Arsenal matches of all time in the Premier League. Well, of all time actually, in all competitions. So I guess the moments when they're Ryan Giggs, Will Tord, those moments are right up there in terms of this fixture. Speaking of injuries, before we go and do our combined 11, Erhan says he's convinced Kane injuries in January and February are pre-programmed. I mean, listen, if Kane is out for any considerable time, Tottenham season done. Call it as it is. Tottenham season is done. We all knew that it was a matter of time before he got injured. That was the first thing. And we all knew also that when he does get injured, you're done. So here we are. We are here now. You just better hope that he ain't injured for long, because I'm hearing it's both ankles that he's got some issues with. And in the game, you saw, I think first it was his right ankle, then I think the final blow was the left ankle. So yeah, I mean, top four will be very, very long without it. You might just get him fit and ready for the League Cup final, innit? And then the Euros. That's all he needs to focus on. Let's do this combined. So go on, we say?
I was gonna say, I mean, the man's ankle's getting weaker by the year. So
let's do this combined 11. All right, what formation are we gonna go with first and foremost?
Wait, first of all, what are we doing in our combined 11s? Are we doing general? Are we doing this season?
Based on form this season, performances this season, and I'll say available players. Is there any players that are out with injury? Obviously, who we got? I mean, Bayou's travelled, so he's available. Aubameyang, it's a possibility.
He's out.
Oh, he's out.
Yeah, he's out.
So, I mean, where are you gonna put him in anyway?
Definitely. No, joking. If it's this season, you can't.
Yeah, this season. I think everyone else is available, if I'm correct.
For Arsenal.
Yeah.
Yeah, just doubts. So there's no confirmed out. Yeah.
So it's just Aubameyang and Phil Jones, the key people that's out. All right. Let's start with goalkeeper. Wait. Formation.
All right. I'd probably say 4-2-3-1. It's where we're at our best, and it's what you play in it. So, that 3-4-3 is non-existent anymore, boy.
All right, goalkeeper this season.
Goalkeeper this season, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to go for Leno. I think the man's been sick this season. Like, he's kept us in a lot of games. I don't really have the stats for it to say what he has done or mistake. I don't remember him making a clear and obvious mistake that led to a goal. Maybe where he could have done maybe a little bit better. But it's difficult. You know what I find difficult with the top goalkeepers is because their defenses are relatively good. The saves they have to make, it's all about concentration rather than actual how many saves you can make in the game. Now, obviously, there's a lot of talk about how good Martinez this season, but because Aston Villa defense isn't the best, he's having to work a lot harder, so he's having to make a lot more saves. And he's probably a better shot stopper, maybe overall, than Leno. But in terms of I think he's got better at commanding his box, distributing, and second best defense in the league this season. I mean,
listen, I'll allow you to have David De Gea for me. He's had a good season. Obviously, he's not peak David De Gea, but he's had a good season. Hasn't really made any mistakes. Obviously, he's heavily scrutinized because of his last 18 months to 2 years. Fair enough, or before the season started. But I think he's been good. No issues there. But I take it, the goal scoring. I mean, the defensive record at Arsenal has been better. So you have to put that partly down to the keeper, of course. So I'm all right to give him that one. I'm not gonna fight that. I can easily argue David there as well, but I think there's not much between them this season. Yeah. Guys, make sure you give your thoughts on as we go through the 11. The comment here from Mawada says Martinez greater than Leno. Terrible decision letting him go.
I just don't think it is. If Leno was making mistakes week after week, I'd be like, you know what, fair enough. But Martinez is good goal. We got two good goalkeepers. That's the reality. And what we could have done is play Martinez and bench Leno because that may have been okay. We definitely couldn't have done it the other way.
Martinez had to leave.
He wanted to go and he deserved to go. So I'm not mad that we sold Martinez. Not anymore. Not like how we're 20 games in. And we got, as I said, second best defensive record and we're 20 games in. I can't be mad that we, that our goalkeeper.
Do you agree with Shane?
He's been telling me about Ronaldo should start every week. He's quite close now, bro. He barely makes the bench now.
You lot bought Matt Ryan, isn't it?
Yeah, Matt Ryan's there. Guna since he was a kid in the sticks in Australia.
All right. So right back, I'm going Wan-Bissaka. I've heard that Bellerin's been decent in the last few games. But I think for the course of the season, I'm going Wan-Bissaka.
I'd probably go Wan-Bissaka. I mean, Bellerin's had a decent season. I don't think he's had a bad season. And I think it's close.
DT absolutely hates him.
Yeah, I know, but listen, I think we should probably sell him this summer and bring in someone else. I don't think Cedric's the answer to the problem there. Like, I don't think Cedric's had a good couple of games, but like, I do feel like his time at Arsenal, I don't think he's going to get any better than he is. So I'd be happy to replace him with maybe someone younger, like a Max Aarons or something like that. But yeah, yeah, he's not horrendous. He's not horrendous. But yeah, I'll put Wan-Bissaka in. I think he's been decent.
All right, let's get right left back
Left back.
because I'm going Luke Shaw. I'm going Luke Shaw. Now, there's two reasons. Two reasons why I will go Luke Shaw. I think Luke Shaw has been absolutely brilliant this year. It might be partly to do with expectation. People think that he's finished and he's overperformed, so maybe we might be looking a bit greater. We think that Tierney is top two. There's a lot of talk about him being top two keeper, left backs in the league. Has he been the second best left back in the league this year? I don't think so. But then he hasn't played left back consistently. So is that another tick, another mark for Luke Shaw? For me personally, I'm going Luke Shaw. I don't know what you're saying.
I have to back Tierney in this one because, like, for me, like, I think Luke Shaw's been okay. I don't like I think he's been good in the past couple of weeks. I don't know how good he's been all season, but for me, like, Tierney has massively improved us going from centre back to left back. In over the course of the season. Now, maybe you could argue, we should have been there from the start of the season, but we ended the season well with a 3-4-3, so it was right. He played at left centre back, but like he's been going from strength to strength, and despite us being so bad, he's the one person in our team who has literally been brilliant this season. And yeah, man, left back, left wing back, left centre back all season. He's played everywhere, and his past month, as well as Luke Shaw has been, Tierney, his past month has been mad. Like that West Brom game was ridiculous. That was his best game I've ever seen by far.
Was that the one in the snow?
Yeah. I mean, he's Scottish, isn't it? The snow is his natural habitat. What play a man in the snow and watch him grow, bro? That's what I say.
Well, guys, listen, guys in the chat, let us know. Let us know what you're saying in the chat. Shaw or Tierney? We're gonna have to come back to that because I'm saying Shaw, Ramsey's saying Tierney in it. So let me know what you're saying. We'll come back to that. Centre back. Is there a centre back that you want from Arsenal in there? I'm putting Maguire for us. Maguire gets a lot of stick. I would have Bailly if he could bloody stay fit, if he could play more than 2 games in a row. He can't. He hasn't played enough this season. I think his best performances have been better than Maguire's, but I just don't think he's played enough at 20 games in to say he should be in there. But I think Maguire, other than the first 3 games of the season, I think he's been pretty good, and he's got better when he plays with Bailly.
Yeah, no, I'd probably put Maguire in. I'd have to have Rob Holding like
ahead of Gabriel.
Yeah, for sure. Because like the thing is with Rob Holding, yeah, it's so weird. At the start of the season, we were literally about to loan him out until Arteta said no because our injuries to the defense was so bad. And then the man has been consistent the whole season. Like I don't remember him having a terrible game. And it's so weird because we've not been great this season. But again, the one thing we have been is great defensively. So and he's been the main part in it. Gabriel, if this was a month ago, I'd probably say Gabriel. But obviously Gabriel had COVID and then wasn't in the team and now can't get back in the team. Not necessarily due to Holding because he's the other side, but whether it's been with David Luiz, and this is the thing, he's had partners, all different partners all season. David Luiz, Gabriel, and Mari, which arguably
that was the best one. That was the best partnership.
And the thing is, they've all been with Holding, and like I thought Holding was brilliant against Man United at Old Trafford. I think he handled Timo Werner in the Chelsea game. So even in the big games, he's been solid.
Everyone handles Timo Werner. You can't have that word.
Yeah, well, he did, innit? He was one of them. And yeah, man, and got a new contract as well for his performances. So yeah, man. Right now, again, he's the first centre back that Arteta's naming at the moment, and it's who else and Holding. So boy, yeah, he goes straight in.
Fair enough. Into midfield. Is there any Arsenal midfielder you would have in that too? Because where I'm looking at it, I'm looking at Fred and Pogba.
You're having Fred and Pogba. I would have Pogba and Xhaka personally.
Xhaka over Fred.
Yeah, I would have Xhaka over Fred. I think Xhaka's had a very good season as well. yes, he had the problem where he lost his head and got the 3-game ban. But I think in the middle, I think he's been consistent with performances. He's looked a lot better, obviously, when Partey's been with him in the middle. But whether it's with Elneny, Ceballos, or Partey, I think he's been very good this season. And especially considering I didn't even really want him to stay this year. I didn't think it was his place to stay. He stepped up again. So yeah, I'd have Xhaka and Pogba personally. Question marks are whether Pogba can actually play in the two, but
get out of here! Get out! Listen, you know what's going to be interesting this weekend? The Pogba Partey Part 2, because Partey absolutely dominated.
Oh yeah, he's 1-0 up. He's 1-0 up.
Yeah, he's 1-0 up. Pogba got to come back. And actually, that was a COVID-ridden Pogba. My man gave away a penalty as well, then came off like, yeah, I was a bit tired, innit? So Pogba got to step up in this game. Like, he's got to show why he's the best player in the world. Listen, we're stalemate, innit? Left back, centre, defense midfield. We're stalemate. We might have to just take one each come the end. We'll see. A couple comments saying, Xhaka over Fred. Xhaka. I can't work it out, man. But listen, we'll see. I think this is the most obvious position. Number 10, centre attacking midfield.
smith-rowe. No, I get you. No, I do hear what you're saying. I mean, I know
has to be. I was going to put Odegaard. Okay. Listen, Bruno Fernandes, one of the best players in the Premier League this season. Best player in the league over the last 12 months, I'd say. Unbelievable player. I think he gets into any team in the Premier League right now. Any team. You find a way to put him in because he's that effective. Even Man City, especially Man City, put him in. Foden can go to the left or false 9 or something. But yeah, I think he gets in. He's an amazing footballer.
Yeah, no, he's been good. It's a bit of a
yeah, he is. It's a slow month, but it's like
maybe 2021 ain't his thing. Maybe it's not his bag.
Maybe, but listen, it's been a slow month. But that being said, he got the winning goal against Liverpool in the FA Cup. I want to say he got the assist against Wolves, but I just don't remember if that was at the end of December or that was January. It was the end of December.
In December, yeah.
Okay. The winning goal against Liverpool in the FA Cup. He obviously was a penalty, but he scored against Aston Villa in the league. I'm trying to think, who was our other fixtures? We played Liverpool, that was 0-0, missed a good chance in that one. And then Sheffield United was terrible. So yeah, I mean, in comparison, he won 4 Player of the Months in 2020, and we only had about 8 months of football. So yeah, if I compare to that, 100%, he's had an off month. But I think, yeah, he gets into this combined 11. Left wing, Rashford, surely.
You told me, has he played left wing? I heard he's a right winger these days.
No. Majority of the time he's played left wing. That's where he's played his best. When he's played bad, it's generally when he's been either moved up front or he's moved to the right. Other than the Sheffield game where everyone was just terrible. But even then, he got moved to the right when Cavani came on to accommodate Martial. He can't accommodate Martial no more. We can't do it. Rashford on the left has been amazing. The only option, the only other person that you could even think about, and I say this just for name alone, is Aubameyang, but he has had a bad year, and of course he's not available for this game anyway. So I wouldn't put him anywhere near there.
Yeah, it's tough because, like, the question is, if you're basing it on the season, where do you put Saka? Like,
yeah, no, I hear that.
He's been right wing and played very well on the right wing for the past month. But yeah, he's literally been everywhere. He's been everywhere like the whole season. So yeah, I think he has to be in the team. So I put him on the right wing.
100%. We don't have a right winger anyway. Like the options are Mata, Dan James, Mason Greenwood. I mean Pogba. He's played out there against Liverpool. Obviously, he's in the team already. Like 100% has to be Saka. I'm not even. That's no debate for me. And that's why it's easier then to put Rashford on the left anyway, because the other option would be to switch them. And why would you do that? So yeah, for me, Saka 100% gets on the right hand side. Now, listen, this one's interesting. I already know who you're gonna go for because you just are gonna do it. All right, let me ask you: who's the better striker, Cavani or Lacazette?
Who's the better overall?
Who's the better striker? Yeah, overall.
Cavani. I think
Okay.
Cavani's the better striker.
Cool.
Yeah, overall.
Cool.
But this season it's Lacazette.
So that's what I want to ask. I want to ask: is it really?
Yeah.
I know he scored. He's scored a few goals. He's scored a few tap-ins. A few, been there at the right time. But he's also missed a hell of a lot of chances, and easy chances at that. Is it a case of that he's just started every game, so he's obviously going to score, as opposed to him playing that well?
No, because like when we start, like our good patches this season has been right at the start and the last 6 games, and that's all been him. Like he's the one that got the goals at the start of the season when we were playing well. Yes, we went for a bad patch. He struggled, and he was dropped, rightly so, for a couple of games. And then he's come back with an absolute banger. And it's not even necessarily that he's scored the mad goals or like been the massive creator, but his presence and play in there, weirdly, because every single person wanted to put Aubameyang up top. Remember I had this conversation with you when we played you the last time. Why isn't Aubameyang up top? Play him up top. Aubameyang was up top and he was non-existent. He looked like he didn't have to play with his back to goal. Whereas Lacazette is just able to just do both. He's able to play with his back to goal, and I just saw last week make the runs to get into the 6-yard box, and that's where you get your goals from. And like I don't know, like I know Cavani's had a decent season coming in. What has he got? 4 league goals?
Yeah, 4 goals, 2 assists.
Two of them was at Southampton game, wasn't it? When he came off the bench.
2 of the goals, yeah.
Lacazette's on 8 this season already, and 1 assist. I mean, like he was not going to be the guy maybe to get you 2 or 3 goals a game. The Chelsea game, he was brilliant. I think he's just had so many individual games where he's got a crucial goal for us, which ends up winning us the game or plays a part. So for me, neither of them have been fantastic. I mean, Cavani barely starts. Like he can't even get in the team.
That's
Martial's been so bad.
Yeah,
Martial
can't put Martial anywhere there. Like I'm not even can't even mention it. Can't put Greenwood there either. Cavani for me, it's like he has been better when he's played than Lacazette, but he hasn't played enough. Like even though he's played 13 games, how many of them were starts? I don't know. I don't have off the top of my head. Not many. So the 13 games of cameo appearances more often than not, which then puts into this perspective his 6 goal contributions are pretty good. But I'm willing to give him Lacazette that right now. I think as of this day going forward, Cavani has to be on first choice number 9, and come the end of the season, I believe he'll have more goals in the league than Lacazette. But right now, I'll give him that. I will give him that. Because Cavani just hasn't played enough.
I'm surprised he didn't come in. He hasn't been put in number 9 earlier on. I mean, I know it's probably because you don't have the right winger, and I'm sure Ed's got a lot to say about that. But it's probably someone, if you're going to play Rashford, Martial, and Cavani, someone has to get the short straw and play right wing, because no one wants to guard there. Even Cavani has played there before, but it's no one's favoured position. So someone out of them three is going to have to draw the short straw. Now, obviously, because Greenwood hasn't been as good as he was last year, it's been like, do you go for the 4-4-2 diamond? Do you go with Pogba there? No one's sealed that place on the right wing. For me, like Cavani should have been number 9 for a little while when Martial was off form. And even when he was suspended, Cavani wasn't always starting either. Like Greenwood played against us, and Greenwood and Rashford played up top against us. So like I was surprised he hasn't played more, even when Martial wasn't there.
No, yeah, listen, I agree. I think he should have started more. He did start the last 2 games, so he started in the FA Cup, started in the Fulham game. He had 2 headers. One hit the post, one was a good save from Areola. So he could have had a couple more goals this season. But I think going forward, he has to start. He had issues with quarantine when he first came. He hadn't played since like March or even earlier than that when he was at PSG before we actually signed him on the last of the transfer window. Then he had the ban, so it's been a bit of a stop-start season. And then you put his age into it, and the fixture pile up, where he just can't play every game.
Yeah, 33. Is it what, 33?
Something like that, 33, 34.
And he's not like, he never had Blister in place when he was younger. Anyway, so you got to play to his strengths, specifically with Cavani. And I think, but yeah, he's still got the quality to do it. And yeah, I don't think he's getting more goals than Lacazette.
Well, you don't think he will?
No, I don't think he will.
He is. He's the first choice. Solskjaer's, you might even say his job relies on him dropping Martial. Martial will get Solskjaer sacked. Martial will get Solskjaer sacked. If Martial starts up front for the rest of the season, we're the very big risk of us dropping outside the top four. Cavani has to start, and if he does, I think we get top. I think he'll score more than Lacazette, but we'll see in it. Listen, there's two positions. The chat, I know it's going to be heavily Man United, so it's a bit unfair. Everyone's saying Shaw, everyone's saying Fred. I'm going to give you one. You can have either Tierney or Xhaka. I'm taking the other one. It's up to you.
Oh, Tierney, 100%. You can have Fred if you want, man. Tierney's in there.
Listen, I agree with I think it was what Mowada said, that Luke Shaw's been the best left back this season. No, not 100% in the league. I think Robertson has. I think Robertson's still been the best, but he has been better than Tierney. Luke Shaw's been better than Tierney.
Cancelo's been up there as well. And
right back, right. I give him the right back. And you're right back.
He's played half his games left back, half his games right back.
Well, yeah, it's not enough, innit? Like Cavani, it's just not enough. He didn't play enough, innit? No, but what is Justin?
Chilwell's been cold as well.
Chilwell started well. He did. He had, I think, put it like this: the first half of the first half, Chilwell was right up there, and he's steadily, as Chelsea have declined, he has steadily declined. So I think, yeah, Luke Shaw's been right up there. And considering how much he's been written off, I think he's had a brilliant season. I think the Telles signing helped. I think the Telles signing has kind of pushed him to another level. He started taking some set pieces as well. So him and Telles might be working on that. They've spoken about how they get on in training. So they might be working on that. He takes a lot of corners and the free kicks from the left-hand side when Bruno's not on the pitch. I think he's been brilliant. But I'll give you that. But yeah, you can't have both of them. Sorry. We're sitting in second. You are sitting in ninth. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4. No, 5. Yeah, you got 5 players. That's more than enough. That's too many for a team that's sitting in ninth. Let's be honest. A team that's sitting in ninth.
Individual brilliance, isn't it?
As someone said earlier, it's true. Lindelof should be above Holding, isn't it? Because it's either Holding's been great or Leno's been great. Which one is it?
Both. Both a unit.
Someone must be doing something wrong if Leno's been great, innit? Or someone ain't doing nothing if Holding's been great, innit? But
second best defense. They both in.
But I think, yeah, Man United. And that's what I think. Like, all right, manager. Who we got in manager this season?
It has to be Ollie because he's doing title race. And Arteta's had a bad. Reality is, like, although we reported back to 9th, it's not a great season. It's poor season. Worst start ever to a Premier League campaign. Arteta, because he was given time, unlike Frank, and if we were Chelsea, he would have been gone. But the reality is, like, he was made manager at the start of the season. So therefore, for me, that's a trust in Edu to say, right, boom, I'm giving you time to sort this out. And in January, remember, he's got to January and he's just said, right, Ozil, go. Socrates, go. Kolasinac, go. Mustafi, they're trying to get rid of. Saliba out on loan. Like, he just said, look, I want my squad. And he's probably realized now that if he has another bad start to end of the season or to start next year, he's probably going to lose his job. So let me get the players that I want now to actually play and go from there, man.
Yeah, I think, listen, just looking at this, if we've got 6 players in here, you've got 5, and we're sitting in second, then Solskjaer must have done something. Like I said, we've got our strikers on 2 goals. in the league, and we're sitting in second in the league. I think a lot of that, yeah, you give credit to the Brunos and the Rashfords and Pogba stepping up. But at what point, at what point do you say well done to the manager? With Solskjaer, it's like anything that goes wrong, it's all his fault, and anything that goes right is all on the players. Football just doesn't work like that. It just doesn't work like that, and I think it's when has that ever been the case? I think the only manager who I've heard similar with that is Zidane, and he won 3 Champions Leagues, and people are like, yeah, but look at the players he had. Yeah, but no one's won 3 Champions Leagues in a row. So it's like, at what point? It's like, unless people see a clear, defined style of play from game to game, from minute to minute, regardless of the opposition, they're like, well, it's just freestyle football. And you know what? It might be freestyle, but it's freestyle in the sense of there's no set style from game to game, from team to team. You adjust and you're fluid based on who you're playing, the match situation, etc., etc. Whereas you got some managers like, say, Frank Lampard, who you could say his system was a death of him. He refused to shift away from the 4-2-3-1. I think 20 games in a row he played 4-2-3-1 since he played 3 at the back against us in Old Trafford. It was get the ball out wide and cross it, regardless of who the striker is, whether it's Werner, Giroud, or Tammy, and they're all different strikers. And that was a death of him. Whereas Solskjaer will say, I'm playing this man up front, let's do this. I'm playing that man up front, let's do this. I'll play Fred in midfield this game. I'll play Pogba, I'll play Matic, I'll play Fred in another game. So I think the freestyle, the fluidity is probably Solskjaer's biggest strength alongside his man management. There comes a point you have to give him credit.
Yeah, and I think obviously the only question mark is, can he get Man United back to winning trophies? There's definitely improvement in the squad, in the players, in terms of getting over the line. He's obviously now got to 4 semi-finals, not managed to get to the final yet.
4 semis.
Yeah, can he get over the line, win a trophy? It's Man United's only going to take top 4 for so long. So even if you improve and you get closer and closer, if he goes another year or two without bringing something back, then the question marks will be asked: can he get? You know what I mean? Like, for example, Pochettino, right?
Yeah.
We all know, great coach. He got the best out of the squad, arguably, got into a Champions League final. But, his CV says that he didn't really do nothing with Spurs because he didn't take anything home. Now, if Jose Mourinho wins the League Cup with Spurs, it all of a sudden just looks a bit like, how did he do it when you did it with pretty much the same squad? So it's like, yeah, can he get over the line? And how much patience will Man United have, the hierarchy have, with letting him go season after season without them?
I would say, as a hierarchy, I think they'll be fine with him getting top 4 forever. Like, unless there's big pressure from fans at a point to say, wait, we're not doing this, we're not doing that, unless you sack the manager, because top 4 is money, and that's their main interest of Man United. Their main interest of Man United is not to win the big trophies. If the big trophies come, then they'll take it, but Champions League football is their main aim. The fans, however, are not going to be satisfied. Like, there's a lot of fans saying already that this season he has to win a trophy. For me, I'm giving him another season. I'm saying this year we need to get back-to-back top 4, which we haven't done since Fergie left. We got Champions League twice in a row because we won the Europa League under Jose and then we finished second, but we haven't finished top 4 2 seasons in a row, which tells me that we've been so inconsistent. So if he can bring back that consistency and the stability of being a Champions League team, then you say, cool, you've done that now. The next step is win the trophy. It don't have to be the league, don't have to be Champions League, but it has to be a trophy. League Cup, FA Cup. So for me, he lost 4 semi-finals now, yes. But he reached 4 semi-finals. So we're closer to a trophy than we would have been if we had got knocked out in the quarters or knocked out in the last 16. I'd rather lose 4 semi-finals than lose in the last 16, a quarters, a semi, and a final in 4 different tournaments. At least there's a consistency of getting to a level, but we're just unable to get, so we just need to break that barrier. So after we get top 4 this year, then next year for me, I got a new brick phone. It's making all kind of noises. Beep, beep. Got a Nokia ringtone as well. It's all mad right now. All mad. Yeah. But yeah. Yeah. But yeah, so I think next year for me, as long as we get top 4 this year, he goes again next year, and it has to be top 4 on a trophy. FA Cup, League Cup, I don't care. If he gets the FA Cup this year, then cool, I'm good. Next year, you're like, all right, it has to be a sustained title challenge right to the end. Win the title if you can. You have a good summer transfer window, win the title. But like the Champions League, winning the title's not easy when you're dealing with a Man City under Pep and a Liverpool under Klopp. And then you go to the Champions League and you're dealing with Bayerns and Real Madrids and obviously the same Man City and Liverpool, etc. Like, these big trophies ain't easy. And for me, it's not a sackable offense at this stage to not win those trophies. But there's a minimum expectation. And top four is one. And as a Man United manager, trophies are an expectation, 100%. You know, I think we only went one season that I can remember without winning a trophy under Sir Alex. Off the top of my head, 2000 and no, there must have. I think there might be another, but too early, like mid 2000, we were rebuilding. 2005, I think we got knocked out of the Champions League early, and lost the FA Cup to you lot. Chelsea won the league, but other than that, we always win something. A little League Cup here, a little FA Cup there, and just keep it ticking over. That's all we need to do. But this year, I will take a top four again. But yeah, guys, this is our combined 11. I mean, not my combined 11, but somehow we've come up with this. Leno, Wan-Bissaka, Rob Holding, Harry Maguire, captain. Kieran Tierney, Fred and Pogba in the midfield. Bruno Fernandes behind the front three of Saka, Rashford, and Alexander Lacazette. In terms of this game, Ramsey, where do Arsenal win this if they do? How do they win this?
Yeah, for me, there's a lot that will depend on who actually plays. There's doubts obviously over Tierney, Partey, and Smith-Rowe. If those three play, it gives us a big advantage in terms of having our close to our best 11. For me, we win this by keeping Man United out. If we can keep it solid at the back, as we have done quite a lot of the season, then I think we can get something. Obviously, you got a good attack going forward, which has been a little bit stifled of recent, but can always hold the threat to attack and create and score goals. So, yeah, I think it's about, if we can keep it solid, I think we can get something there. And with the form that Saka and Smith-Rowe are in, it's just about keeping that level up. We'll see how good Luke Shaw really is when he comes up against one of the best youngsters in the Premier League after he had a rest.
Well, in the past, it's been Pepe that's kind of causing problems, isn't it? So yeah, it'd be interesting if you put Saka on that side.
I think Pepe starts this week.
On what side? Because he played on the left against Southampton, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he'll play again. I thought Martinelli would have started, but I went with Pepe on the left. Not really seen him out there. You know what it is? Because this guy is so like, he loves to just be precise and cut in and try and score the worldies. When you play on the left, you obviously don't want to cut in because you don't want to be on your right foot, so you're kind of forced to go wide a bit more, and it kind of helped his game a little bit. So I think obviously getting a goal as well, I think Arteta will put him on the left side again. And maybe maybe we'll see what happens with that, especially if Aubameyang's not back. I don't think he is.
Wan-Bissaka got that. Wan-Bissaka, whoever is it, Wan-Bissaka in these big games thrives, in it. Come at me, in it. Come at me, and that's how I think Man United can beat Arsenal. Come at me. We played into your hands in the game at Old Trafford. You were obviously going to sit back and try and hit us on the counter attack, and you done that. You sit back, you hit us on the counter attack. You created the better chances, and then you got the goal from the penalty spot. And I think, I hope you go with the same 4-2-3-1 you've been playing. I don't want no 5 at the back. Go with the 4-2-3-1 and come and attack us. You're at home. Take the initiative. 5 wins in 6. You need to march up this table. Arsenal are back. Show it. I want some prime Wenger ball out there. And we can just hit you on the counter. That's what I want to see. And I think that's the best way to beat Arsenal. I think he's going to go with Fred and McTominay in the midfield, especially after that debacle against Sheffield United. He's going to rip that up and say, listen, my 2 guys in the big games. And we don't lose them. We have drawn. I think we won 4, drawn 4 this season with those 2 in the middle. And that was like Chelsea, Man City, and Liverpool. So obviously the big games he goes for these guys, and maybe against Leicester as well. I can't remember. He goes for these guys. So I expect them to be in there against Arsenal. I expect them to get in and around the Partey's and Smith-Rowe and Xhaka, whatever in the midfield. I think Pogba will probably go out wide right with Rashford on the left, or vice versa. They might do the other side. But the same way kind of we lined up against Liverpool, Cavani has to start. Because with your defense, it may be a game of few chances. It might not be end to end or flying. And I want it to fall to Cavani ahead of anyone. I don't want it to fall into Martial. Can't have that happening. It has to fall to Cavani. Get Luke Shaw as well on that left hand side.
It could be an interesting battle if David Luiz starts with Cavani and Luiz in the air. That might be That might be one still.
That could be interesting.
They played together, didn't they, at PSG?
They did. So, well, listen, it's a big game. In terms of who needs it more as the title of the thing, who do you think needs the win more?
Man United for sure. Because you're in this run of form. I know you lost to Sheffield United, but the title race is on. I mean, you fell into a title race primarily because your form has been good, but also because Man City and Liverpool ain't been on it. Whilst they're not on it, you never know. They may never have a year like this again. We saw when Leicester won the league. Leicester took advantage of a poor league. I know they were good, but the league was dead. You're muted. You're muted.
Wait. Man City are flying. What are you talking about?
Man City haven't been at their best, and I think that's maybe
I thought 13 goals.
Yeah, they've been good defensively, but without a striker, they've been games where they just look lost up front. Now they have got back on it recently for sure, but yeah, this ain't the Man City. This ain't the Man City team that destroyed the league a couple of years ago and went toe to toe with Liverpool and battered them. So like, whilst you're up there now, you might as well go for it because you might not be up there again. So I think you need it more than us. I mean, we need it to gain momentum to try and get back to where we are. But as I said, I don't even know what our aim is. We're just trying to get as high as we can. So we can lose to Man United and go on and maybe beat Wolves and then get another win. And with the teams being so inconsistent around us, it won't. We could always pull that back. Whereas, as you said, because Man City have been on form right now, you can't let them get away if you are chasing the title. And I think the players are not stupid. They'll look at the Premier League saying, reality is we're 1 point behind City. They got a game in hand. We're in a title race. We can win the league. The mentality of the players. You've got players that have been and won stuff before. Pogba. Yeah, you've had players.
Matic, David De Gea.
You know what I'm saying? So them lot will know. Like, if you put on a good run
all our team has won stuff. Just not everyone ain't won a Premier League. Remember, we won Europa League, we won FA Cup, we won League Cup since Fergie. So they've all won stuff. It's just been a few years now. It's coming up to 2017 was the last trophy. Yeah, 4 years. 4 years since we lost the trophy.
It's just about going on the mentality to win the league. I mean, like, it's a mental more than anything. Now, listen, if the Premier League was from January to January, you might have won the Premier League this year. You might have won it. But you got another 6 months now to carry that same form that you have had all year, going through to the end of the season.
My biggest issue.
Also, like, the one thing that you done well is, remember, you had a poor start to the season. You lost some games. The games that you won that you could have lost, like Brighton, the Southampton game, easily have lost the game. But having the mentality to get through those games, and Wolves as well, the mentality to get through those games has allowed you to be in this position now. I literally just named 3 games. That's a massive 6 points, which could put you down in 5th place. Having the mentality to get through those games, which I thought that's what we didn't have, which is why we are where we are, just gets you that bit closer. Now, when you do win the games that you expect to win, it looks a bit better.
I think for me, yeah, if we're going to win the title or challenge for the title, seriously, we have to win the game. 100%. Man City will batter Sheffield United. I'm sure about that. I got no qualms. Like, if I might even triple captain Sterling in fantasy football. That's how much Man City are going to beat Sheffield United. But in terms of top 4, if that's like the ultimate aim, a draw is good enough. A draw is good enough to I think just stay on course for top four. But I think just on the back of that Sheffield United loss, I want to win so desperately. Like, just we need to get that out of our system. Like, a draw doesn't get out of our system. You now got 1 point from 2 games. A win, it's like, oh, that was a bad game, but let's go again. We'll go again. You know, we've got Everton and Southampton in the next few games after that. And I think we've got a decent February, while Man City got a tough February. But if we drop more points this January before Man City start dropping points, it's going to get very, very long for the title. So, yeah, I think the win is more important for us if we're going for the title. If Arsenal are going for top four, then you need to start winning. I mean, I say start winning. You've won 4 out of your last 5 or 5 out of your last 6. But you can't be afforded to dropping points because you're getting, you've gone on this good run and closed the gap. But any loss, you're back to being 8, 9 points behind, 10 points behind top 4. So it all depends what your aim is this season. If it's for a top 6, top 7 finish, then cool. You're well within reach of that.
Told you, our aim is 1 game at a time. It's not even. I don't even know, because last month we were in a relegation battle. So for us to even think about top 4 now is mad to me. Like, you just gotta just keep winning and hope everyone else keeps dropping points. And yeah, go where we go. I still do think if we lose tomorrow's game, it's not disastrous because we have had a good run of results. If we lost this game,
sorry, when you say it's not disastrous, in terms of like, if you lose, you're not getting top 4. I don't think you get top 4 anyway.
I don't think we get top 4 anyway. That's the thing. I didn't think we were going to get top 4 at the start of the season. So, and the fact that we've been so bad this season means that's just the pipe dream for me. Like, but I don't think it's disastrous in terms of it could have been. Listen, it could have been a lot worse if we came into this game on the worst form. No, losing to Man United isn't the worst of things to happen. And there's no way we'll be able to keep this run going the whole season. So we're going to drop points anywhere. I'd rather we drop points to Man United than we drop points to Wolves on Tuesday. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's all about. Obviously, you want to win every game, innit? So,
listen, Wilson is heavy in the comments, and he's sure Arsenal's going to get a win. And I don't blame him because Arsenal are back. Arsenal are back. Ramsey, what's your score prediction?
Yeah, I think obviously with the form that we're coming in and the way Man United are coming in, I think there's a good chance we could get something tomorrow from the game. For me, if Partey, Smith-Rowe, and Tierney play, I think we'll win, and I do think they'll play. So I'm going to go with a 2-1. I'm going to go with a 2-1 victory, but it could very easily go. I think it's going to be a tight game, and it could very easily go either way. But I think we may just have enough. To win the game.
Fair enough. Listen, I think it's going to be a tough game, but I think he brings back McTominay, he brings back Fred. We shore up the middle, and with them two, we don't really lose these big games.
You did to us last time with them two.
We played some diamond, and it was all messy. Like McTominay was on the right side of the diamond, and he kept dropping in. It was so messy. He ain't doing that. He's going 4-2-3-1. You two just hold that midfield. Pogba, Bruno, Rashford, Cavani, do your thing. If that is the team, yeah, I can't see us losing. The win is going to be a tight game. So it could be tight, it could be 1-1, and then someone nicks it. It could go either way, but I think I'm going to go draw. I'll go 1-1. That's me.
Pogba will go. You think we'll go right wing?
Right or left? I would want him on the right, like he did against Liverpool, and Rashford on the left, but he could go Pogba on the left, Rashford on the right, because I guess Pogba is more creative from the left than he is from the right, and I think we still need to give ourselves that outlet. But then maybe I'll rather Rashford up against Bellerin or Cedric than I would him against Tierney. So maybe I just say.
I think the issue could be coming the other way because Tierney don't stop. And if Pogba is not on his game defensively,
I hear that, but Pogba's been very good. And Liverpool had Robertson and Mane down that that side, and Wan-Bissaka and Pogba did a good job, a very good job. So I agree, he have to be on his game, but he's been on his game for a couple months now, 2-3 months, 2.5 months. So I trust that he's going to put in a similar performance on that right hand side like he did against Liverpool. And that's what I'm looking at as a blueprint. We stopped Liverpool in that way and still created the best chance in that game. Let's see if we can do the same. So I'll go with the same team, barring Cavani over Martial, and hopefully get that win. Hopefully. Well, listen, guys, it's been good. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Arsenal versus Manchester United, 5:30 on Saturday. Of course, we will be here with the match review that will be after on the terrace. Could be a long one. Could be a long one. It could be very long for someone. Like the Liverpool Man United game, I remember I was like, it's going to be a long game. But at the end of the draw, it was whatever. If someone loses this game, turn your phone off, get off social media, and just hide away until your team plays again, because it is going. The jokes will run and the banter will live on for the rest of the season without a shadow of a doubt. But that's it from me and Ramsey. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you soon.